the shed on this Friday evening. I do apologise for not doing a video last night. I had to have a tooth removed yesterday, and it wasn't very pleasant. My jaw's still a bit sore, but hopefully it'll hold up. I just said I couldn't let this weekend go without doing a video. Leave out my predictions that I am doing. I just want special weekend in Dublin. As you can see over my right shoulder, we have the Vikings and the Steelers caps, and then in the middle, we got it right there at the helmet for the NFL Ireland. It's a huge weekend, and it's something I'll be talking about later on in the video. So what I'm going to do in this evening's video is I'm going to have a quick chat about the Bills and the New Orleans Saints game. I'm going to talk about my predictions. I'm going to talk about the game in Dublin. As you can see, I'm wearing a half and half jersey. I got this saw it online. I couldn't say no. Josh Allen, you'll see it in my picture later on. I have the 17 on the front. It's half the NFL, half Wyoming. Now I know the Adidas symbol. I don't know where that came in, but we'll find out. But the other side of it here is you see the Wyoming horse on it, and on the back then it has the Buffalo Bills logo, where the buffalo is on the back, the charging buffalo. So I thought it was pretty cool. I don't care. It's got Josh Allen on it. I wasn't saying no, and it's half and half. But anyway, you're welcome along. So we are getting ready for week 4, of the NFL, and it's a huge weekend in Ireland. The game's in Dublin. Today, the Vikings and the Steelers are there. They landed. They were doing their press conferences. If you want to find out anything more about how things are going up there, please tune in. There's a few great shows that are doing everything. They've done it for years. Gaelic Gridiron, Jimmy English and co. And also Pro Football Ireland, Michael McQuaid, Mark Hogan, Jason Hayes and them boys and girls. They're doing a great job as well. Go away, fly. But you log on to them, follow them. There's many others as well, but they are the two I do keep an eye out for and watch. And that's why I'm wearing my green buffalo hat tonight in celebration of the game being in Ireland. Even though the Bills aren't there, I had to put a bit of green on. But tune into them. They will keep you up to date from the Irish point of view of what's going on in Dublin over the weekend. So we'll kick in to the game. So last night, the Seahawks played the Cardinals, and I just seen the highlights there. I had picked the Seahawks to win. I'm not going to give you any BS, and if a team loses, they lose. I didn't think it would be as tight as it was. The Seahawks won it pretty comfortably. Kyler Murray did throw for 2 interceptions. Sam Darnold again had 242 passing yards, 1 touchdown pass. He had a 69.2 completion. Sam Darnold has really made himself at home in the last 2 seasons in the NFL, and it's great to see. Where Kyler Murray, who I thought would be the better of the 2 quarterbacks on paper, he only threw for 200 passing yards, 2 interceptions, but he also threw for 2 touchdowns, and one was a great catch by Marvin Harrison Jr. But the Seahawks did seem to be well ahead, and in the end, they let the Cardinals back into it, but they did get a field goal at the end from what I saw in the highlights. Now, it was only quick highlights, so I'll be honest, you didn't see every play, but it was something just to have a watch before it came on. But I did choose the Seahawks to win. They did win just by, it was a divisional game, and they are now 3-1, where the Cardinals are 2-2. Then we'll go to the Vikings and Steelers game Sunday. It's a huge game in Dublin. I've seen Croke Park. It looks amazing. I'll be honest with you. I've seen the Hill 16 seated, and it looks amazing. And I would leave the seats there. Whenever the Dubs think, I'd still leave the seats there. Yes, one day put a roof on it. Maybe this will help pay for it. But put a roof on the hill, make it a closed-in stadium. It's second to none in the world. It's second to none in the world at the minute anyway. But it does look amazing. All the markings are on the pitch. They have a bit of tidying up to do, but the pitch looks great. When I was in London a couple of years ago, I'm in Tottenham Stadium, you looked across the pitch and you seen the Union Jack flag, the NFL flag, and the American flag. And you're going, would I ever see that in Ireland with the Irish flag? And to see that in Croke Park, it also looks amazing too. It is very well done. The Vikings and the Steelers are in Dublin now. They've done their press conferences today so far. I've seen a few clips from them here and there. And Dublin is really building up for a huge, huge weekend. And everyone that's going to it, I hope you have an absolutely amazing time. I would love to go. But I had my reasons for not going at the start, and that was basically with Ticketmaster. And B, as it turns out, my girlie is playing in the final on Sunday. So I love NFL, but I love my daughter more, so I ain't missing her game. And even if it was just an ordinary game of football, I would still go and see my daughter play football. She is an apple of my eye, and she is. She I would have brought her to the NFL if she wasn't playing, if we could have gone, but we couldn't. So I'll enjoy the NFL from home. I'll watch it from home, and I'll enjoy her game as well. And please God, everything goes well for her. But it should be an amazing weekend. The Dublin has spared no expense as in what is on for visitors, what to do, be it NFL, be it tours, be it everything else. So if you're up there, enjoy yourself. Let us know. Let us see. I cannot be there. Please God, I will be one day up there to Dublin game, but right now I can't. So if you're up there and you're watching this, send pictures, put up videos. Let's see the atmosphere. Let's feel the atmosphere. I wish that behind me there was the Bills hat and the Steelers, but it's not. So, but the Minnesota Vikings are an exceptional team, and I think it'll be a great, great, brilliant atmosphere. So let's bring it on. Let's see it and let's enjoy it. In relation to the game, how I think the game is going to go, I'm looking at this, and I was looking at it all week. And am I going to go for the Steelers or am I going to go for the Vikings? And to be honest, I only made up my mind this morning, and I looked at both sides. You have Aaron Rodgers coming over to play in Croke Park. You have probably one of the best defenses on the Steelers that could be in the NFL, but they haven't performed so far. Whereas Aaron Rodgers in their offense, now DK Metcalf, he sat out training today, but I don't think he's injured. But he's there. They don't have a huge amount. They're not creating a huge amount of offensive plays. They were in the game last week. It was their own fault that they lost. 2 weeks ago to the Seahawks. They beat the Patriots last week, excuse me. But it was the Patriots' own fault they lost with all their fumbles. And it wasn't the offense of yesteryear where Aaron Rodgers dictated the game and they, ran the show and beat the Patriots fair and square. This was more the Patriots beating themselves last weekend. Then you look at the Vikings, and JJ McCarthy went out injured. I said it last week about Carson Wentz. Would he be the Carson Wentz of 2020, pre-2020 for the Eagles, or would he be the guy that we've been watching the last few years? And Kevin O'Connell works magic because Carson Wentz came out and boom, boom, blew the Bengals away. Now, the Bengals blew themselves away too with their offense. But Brian Flores has a defense there that is right now in the NFL second to none. Their offense is clicking under Carson Wentz. Where you could decide the Steelers defense is getting into gear and an offense that should be clicking pretty well isn't. I want to say the Steelers will win Sunday because they're the team that came to Ireland and brought the game to Ireland. But if you want my honest opinion, and this is just my honest opinion, I think the Vikings will win Sunday. They've got Justin Jefferson, Hawkinson, Carson Wentz who can throw a ball. I just think they are a little bit too strong on offense. And I know JJ McCarthy is out, but I just think they're a little bit too strong on offense, and the defense of the Steelers will put it up to them, but their offense won't click. And that reason alone, as much as I want to say the Steelers are going to win, I'm going for the Vikings. I just think that they're too strong. Our next game then is could be a jinger. It's the Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. In this game, I've again to and fro. The Commanders are doing well. The Marcus Mariota, I think he's going to play again this weekend. I think Jalen Daniels is going to be out. Did nothing wrong last week. The Atlanta Falcons, they sucked last week. Got hammered 13-0 by the Panthers. Really looked out of sorts. So who am I going to pick? Well, shocker. I'm going for the Falcons. Because before last week, the Falcons played 2 really good games. They really pushed the Buccaneers in week 1 and looked well in all facets of the ball. They played the Vikings in week 2, beat them well in Minnesota, and played very, very well. Yes, Michael Penix Jr. had a stinker last weekend through 4 interceptions. Nothing worked for them. But they're at home. It's a huge game for them. They're either going to make it or break it. And up here says you should be picking the Commanders, but my gut feeling just says go for the Falcons, and let's see what happens. Then we have the New Orleans Saints at the Buffalo Bills, so our game. We're 3-0. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Baltimore Ravens. I'll discuss that in a few minutes. One of them teams are going to be 1-3. So if the Baltimore Ravens win on Sunday night, we'll have a 2.5 game on them if we win. Can you imagine having we have 2.5 games in the Baltimore Ravens after 4 weeks. If they lose, we have 3.5 games, and we have a 2-game lead on the Chiefs. Again, can you believe that if we win on Sunday? So the most important thing we do on Sunday is win. I was looking at the injury report from now. It's from the NFL website, so I don't know how updated this is. But Spencer Brown, offensive tackle, he did not practice. AJ Epinesa, defensive edge, he's limited. Matt Milano and Ed Oliver, linebacker and defensive tackle, both did not practice. But they were the only 4 names I've seen on the list of injuries. What I've seen about Ed Oliver is Ed Oliver apparently has the boot off, and there is a small chance he may play this weekend. Honestly, I hope, and I wouldn't play him. But, if we need him, to have him there. But have Ed Oliver for the bigger games coming up. On the other side, Dylan Randus, he's a guard, did not practice for the Saints. And Chase Young, defensive edge, did not practice for the Saints. Devon Vele, wide receiver, he was limited, as was Trey, the wide receiver, he was limited too. But Talise Fuaga, Cameron Jordan, they both had full practice, as did Trevor Pinney. So they're getting players back. Spencer Rattler has Kamara, has Olave, has a lot of weapons he can use. So we have to be tuned in on Sunday. They're on a bad run, yes, but we need to keep them on a bad run. Do not make this a trap game. Do not make this a game where we went out cocky, they caught us on the hop, like the Browns caught the Packers last weekend, and all of a sudden you're letting the Chiefs and the Ravens back into the division AFC Championship race. Keep them out. Keep them out. Josh Allen is playing Super Bowl. The offensive line is playing super protecting him. He was sacked, I think, twice last weekend, but you're not going to go through a season without sacks. We're minding the ball. Let us keep minding the ball. Like, if we can do what we did to the Jets and you can take Josh Allen and the starters out in the 4th quarter, then let's do that. We need to keep ticking 1-0, and we need a 1-0 this weekend. And if we go 1-0 and go 4-0 for the season before the Ravens and the Chiefs play, that's awful pressure on them. Huge pressure. And this is what we'll see. It's a game I expect us to win. It's a game I'm picking us to win. I just don't want any complacency in it, that we go out. Our defense does the job. Joey Bosa is doing a great job since he came in. Let him keep doing it. Along with the rest of the boys, I think Maxwell Harrison will be back soon. So I don't know if he'll be back this weekend, but seeing him doing pictures of him doing exercise on the pitch, which looks good. So hopefully he'll be back soon to help the defense out. And we're coming to week 6 where we're going to get Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi back after week 6. So our defense needs to step up, keep going, keep improving. Our offense needs to keep ticking, keep going. punish these teams when we get the chance to punish them, and put the pressure on the other teams. And that's what we need to do. The team we're playing, beat the teams we're competing against, put pressure on. And after that, then let's see how they get on. So I'm going for a Bills win. I think the Saints will put it up to them, but I would be hoping for a similar kind of idea of how we played against the Jets, that we are the stronger team. We play to our best. We get ahead of them, and then we can start resting players and protecting players. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's win the game first. And I no disrespect to the New Orleans Saints. They're a team that's starting to rebuild. They will take beatings this year, and hopefully Sunday will be one for them, but they will come, and they will come good. Then we have the Browns at the Lions, and I'm hearing a lot of people saying because the Browns stuffed the Green Bay Packers last weekend that they could do another job again against the Detroit Lions. So I listened to a Browns podcast this week just to get the feel of it, and they were honest about it. 4 minutes ago, the Browns had no score, and they won 13-10. And one was an interception that brought the ball down to a 4-yard, that they got the touchdown and 2 field goals. Yes, they blocked a field goal to win the ball, to get the ball in position for a field goal, and it was a 55-yard by Smith, and they won 13-10. But for 56 minutes, the Green Bay Packers beat them. And it was just that they have a great defense, the Cleveland Browns, but they don't have an offense. Will they stop the Green Bay Packers one week and the Detroit Lions the following week? I don't think so. And I think it'll be kind of like the Baltimore Ravens game, where their defense will keep them in the game for so long, but eventually they'll break, because that offense of the Detroit, Montgomery and Gibbs, running backs, Jared Goff, quarterback, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tesla, wide receiver, or Tesla, tight end, they are frightening. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, for me, is the best wide receiver in the NFL at the minute. He is playing out of this world. He's that good. I see the Lions winning this. I see them winning it kind of comfortably. I think Cleveland had their Super Bowl last weekend. They will win a few more games between now and the end of the season, I'm sure, but I don't think they're going into Detroit this weekend and beating them. Then we have the Titans at the Texans. It's a divisional game. Yes, I heard Titan fans saying Cam Ward is improving. They're looking a bit better. The Houston Texans were favourites for this division at the start of the year. They suck. Both teams are 0-3. I don't know what's going on with CJ Stroud. He ain't the CJ Stroud from his rookie year. And this game is a very hard one to call. But if I had to call one of the two to win, the Houston Texans are at home. I just think they have to get off the mark. And I'm going for the Houston Texans in this game this weekend. Then we have the Panthers at the Patriots. Now, 2 weeks ago, I'd have picked the Patriots all day. But the Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0 last week. Now, Bryce Young wasn't amazing or anything. It was more so Michael Penix Jr. and his interceptions and the returns cost them. But the Patriots should have beaten the Steelers last weekend, except they couldn't hold on to the ball. Now, it's at Foxborough in Boston. I am picking the Patriots to win because I don't think Mike Vrabel will allow 2 bad games like that in a row. It's great to see Bryce Young back and playing well. His first week wasn't great, but he has improved a small bit each week. And last weekend, he did help his team get the victory. But Drake May needs to step up for the Patriots. The Patriots, I think, are the second best team in the AFC East, but they need to start showing it. And this is a good game for them to kick on and kind of keep it tight between ourselves and themselves, because as we'll talk later, the Jets are playing the Dolphins, and there's already a 3-game gap there. If the Patriots lose and we win, there'll be a 3-game gap between 2 of the teams and a 4-game gap between the third one. Like after 4 games, that's a huge amount. So I'm picking the Patriots to win this one, but a toss of a coin, it could go either way. Then we have the Chargers at the Giants. Now, from what I can gather, I think Jackson Dart is going to be playing quarterback for the Giants. And I think that will lift them. And to be honest, if he is playing, I kind of had an inkling to tip them, but I'm not. I'm picking the Chargers. John Harbaugh has his team clicking in both offense and defense. Justin Herbert, for me, was a player I needed to see prove himself. And so far this season, he has proved himself. And I can't say a bad word against Justin Herbert. They did lose Najee Harris to an Achilles injury. I wish him well. Hope he gets better. He's had a tough year. But they still have plenty besides. And I think they'll just be too strong. They have the AFC West lead. They know themselves again later that night. The Ravens are playing the Chiefs. And if the Chiefs lose, they can put that division nearly to bed already, that they'll be so far ahead of them. I know it's early in the season, but it is a statement. No more than us getting, if you get a 3-game lead on the Chiefs, it's a long way back, So the Chargers know that, and I'm going for the Chargers on Sunday. Then we have 2 3-0 teams playing each other. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I watched the Eagles last week against the Rams. They were lucky. They did a great comeback, don't get me wrong. The Rams threw it away. But this Tampa Bay team and Baker Mayfield does not give up. And all 3 games they've won this year, they could have lost. And another quarterback they may have lost. But he brings them back from the dead every time they get there. And he's 3-0. They deservedly be 3-0. And for me, I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be 4-0 at the end of this game. Yes, I'm going against the Super Bowl champions, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and so on. And a brilliant defense to have as well. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look to be a different team. And I think they are playing better football this year than the Philadelphia Eagles. And, their defense is just as good as stopping an offense as any other team. And for me, Todd Bowles knows what he's after in that defensive structure. He looks after it, and he has them ticking. If they keep and stop Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, Brown and co., then Baker Mayfield can do his job. And Baker Mayfield can throw an interception or two, but Baker Mayfield can still go up in the last minute of the game and get you the winning score like he's proven. So I'm going for the Buccaneers. I know it's a long shot, but I'm going to go for them. Then we have the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts at the Los Angeles Rams, 2-1. The Rams blew it against the Eagles last weekend. Were 26-7 up. That game should have been put to bed. Missed 2 field goals. One was a return touchdown at the end and costing the game. The Colts have played perfect football this year. They've only had 1 punt in 3 games. Daniel Jones, they call him Indiana Jones. He looks to be the real deal, and I hope he is. But I think the Rams will win this weekend. They have to come back, and Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua and co. cannot let the likes of Seattle winning last night get too far ahead, or if the 49ers win their game, get too far ahead of them in this division already. It's a great start for the Colts. They have a good foot in the lead of the AFC South to win that division. But I just think that the Rams will beat them this weekend. If by some chance the Colts win, wow, then, and I know they have a super, super defense and they have a super offense. Jonathan Taylor's back to Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman Jr. is catching what he can throw at him. And Daniel Jones is throwing dimes. But I just think the Rams will be too strong for them this weekend. Then we have the Jaguars at the 49ers. I'm not impressed by this Jaguars quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I tossed a coin for this. If Mac Jones is fit and played, I tip the 49ers to win. Brock Purdy is out. Mac Jones may be out. I don't know who the third quarterback is. But Trevor Lawrence, he's a guy that's been given so many chances. He's not the quarterback that they're paying 50-something million a year to. I think it's 55 million a year he's getting. He ain't that quarterback. And yes, they have in Travis Hunter, the rookie, who is improving every week. They have weapons that they can go to. I just picking the 49ers this one because I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. He might go and throw 10 touchdowns Sunday, but I still don't trust him when it comes to 2 or 3 games in a row. And I'm picking the 49ers to win this game. Then we have the big game on Sunday night, the Ravens at the Chiefs. Who would have thought that this game would be 1-2 versus 1-2? Both teams, they probably should be 2-1 at best, if not 3-0 by now. Yes, they had tough games. Ravens had to play us. The Chiefs had to play the Eagles. The Chiefs had to play the Chargers. The Ravens had to play Lions last week, and they're huge, huge games. But to have both teams at 1-2, it's brilliant. Yes. Who's going to win it? Is it Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes? I'm going for Lamar Jackson. Because the Ravens, the 2 games they lost. The first game, I don't know what happened to them. Did they get complacent, cocky, whatever? But we had a comeback, and it was a brilliant comeback, and don't get me wrong. But to be fair, it's a comeback that will only happen once in a lifetime. And we've seen it, thankfully. Against the Lions last weekend, they were bullied. The Lions let them play first, learned how they were playing, and then stopped them. And that Lions team is bloody brilliant. The Chiefs were well beaten by the Chargers, deservedly beaten by the Chargers, deservedly beaten in week 2, and did get a lame victory against a poor Russell Wilson New York Giants team last week. But the most consistent factor in that is Patrick Mahomes. And without him, they will be 0-3 and probably going to be 0-4. But he keeps them in games. Travis Kelce is now fighting Andy Reid. Apparently they've done it before and spat it before. But it's not a good look. And, for a team that's been so dominant for the last 7-8 years, I think if they lose Sunday night, it puts the nail in their coffin. One nail anyway. And I do think they'll lose Sunday night because I think Lamar Jackson, right now, he mightn't have the wins, but he's playing great football. There's an awful lot of pressure put on Derrick Henry about his fumbles. But, we're human. These things happen. And there weren't deliberate fumbles. They were all good punch-outs that were done. Derrick Henry, besides that, is playing awesome. Zay Flowers, Bateman, they're playing awesome. Mark Andrews is back last weekend. Like, the Ravens are the team that you don't want to be taking your eyes off. And for me, I think the Ravens will finally get their win in Kansas on Sunday night. But if they don't, it will throw up serious, serious questions on John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens season. Because they should be ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs right now. And they should beat them Sunday night. Then we have the Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. A week ago, I would not have said I'm picking the Bears to win this game. But I'm picking the Bears to win this game. I think Johnson has got his team back into swing. Ben Johnson. He had Caleb Williams playing absolutely brilliant ball last week. None of the messing, just playing good. Their offense played well. Their defense played well. They beat a Dallas Cowboy team that I didn't think would keep them out, but I all thought would be too strong in offense and would score more points than the Chicago Bears. It didn't happen. They shut down Dak Prescott. They shut down the Cowboys and did it very well and deservedly won the game. The Las Vegas Raiders, I know it's Geno Smith, the answer quarterback. He had a bad game again last week. People are saying, well, he's not getting the right protection, and maybe he's not. But he's had 2 bad weeks in a row. I don't know. I know Pete Carroll will get things going there, but it may take a year or two to get them going. I'm picking the Bears to win Sunday night. We shall see how it goes. I just don't believe in this Raiders team. But then I didn't believe in the Bears last week, and they proved me wrong. So time will tell. And then probably the biggest game on Sunday night in Dallas's eyes is the Green Bay Packers, the return of Micah Parsons to Dallas and taking on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I don't bet, but I reckon Micah Parsons will get to Dak Prescott at least twice Sunday night because I don't think there's good blood there between them. Dak did not stick up from right like if it was a Josh Allen. Josh Allen did stick up for James Cook, did say he deserved to get his deal, and he got his deal. I don't think Dak went out of his way to promote Micah Parsons the same way. I'm picking the Packers. I know they got beat last week by the Browns. I don't think Matt LaFleur will let it happen twice. This Cowboys team, they have a good offense. CeeDee Lamb's going to be out a bit, but they still have George Pickens. They can still run the ball. They still have Dak Prescott. They will score points, but I just think that this Green Bay Packers team will pound them Sunday night. And it'll be interesting to see Jerry Jones' reaction afterwards, whether they win or lose, whether he'll gloat or whether he'll come out defensively. But I just think Dak will meet Micah at least twice Sunday night and be put to the ground with the ball. That's my unofficial tip from the game. I just think Micah Parsons will be beyond pumped for this game. And I don't think the offensive line of Dallas can stop him. There'll be other guys as well. The Packers are loaded on defense, but I just think this will be the one. Then on Monday Night Football, there's two games. The Jets of the Dolphins. Divisional game. Two teams are playing crap. I don't know if Justin Fields back this weekend for the Jets yet. The Dolphins, they put up a good old battle against us last week, eventually fell short. I am picking the Dolphins to win this game. I just think Aaron Glenn is finding his way with the Jets, losing Justin Fields even last week, and they may lose him this week. They were getting a rhythm with him. They will get beatings, but they will win games. They were very close to beating the Buccaneers last week. They shouldn't have been back in it. They did get back in it, and then they should have won it, and they didn't. But I'm just picking the Dolphins. I think at some stage they will win a game. Tua has to. He is starting to find Tyreek Hill, Jaden Waddle. Hopefully he'll be back, and Achane. Well, he can run if he's given the ball. I don't know, can this Jets team take that yet, but time will tell. But I'm going for the Dolphins. I won't be staying up watching this, I'll be honest about it. It's not a game that wets the mouth. I am looking forward to the Sunday games, the Vikings Steelers, the Saints at the Bills, the Eagles at the Buccaneers, the Ravens at the Chiefs, and the Packers at the Cowboys. Yes, I am looking forward to them games. The Jets at the Dolphins should be a huge game for the AFC East division, but right now, nah, not for me. I'll get me sleep Monday night. The final game then of the weekend is the Bengals at the Broncos. Now, I watched this game last year. It was on just before Christmas, or around Christmas time. And it was in Cincinnati, and it was an absolute cracker. Bo Nix and Joe Burrow were just throwing shots at each other, and it was brilliant. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow's injured. And after what I've seen from Jake Browning last weekend, I don't know where the Bengals are going to go. Now, the only thing I will say is Bo Nix ain't throwing the lights out like he was last year. But the Broncos should have beaten the Colts. And they did push the Chargers a long way last week. Do I think the Bengals will beat the Broncos this week? No. I'm going for the Broncos. I think their defense is too strong, especially after what the Vikings did last week against Jake Browning and co. Jamar Chase last weekend didn't look interested. He was strip-sacked or strip-fumbled, whatever you want to call it. He's a guy that I think had a season set that Joe Burrow would be thrown to him, and Same with T. Higgins. And maybe now it was just a bad week. They were getting bet and they just weren't bothered. I don't know. But I'm going for the Broncos in this game. I think they'll be too strong for the Bengals. If the Bengals go 2-2, then you really have to start questioning on how big a loss is Joe Burrow, and can they get any kind of a run together to keep them in the playoff race until he comes back, if he comes back this season, and I hope he does. If the Broncos lose this game, they will be down with the Chiefs. And this is not always thought of at the start of the year. They seriously thought the Broncos would be the team pipping the Chiefs for this division. So by the time the Chargers play, the Chargers could be looking down at football and watching the game and sitting there with rubbing their hands going, we have this division. But time will tell. That's the joy of the NFL. So that is my video for tonight, folks. I do apologise for not having it last night. But the mouth is a small bit better this evening. I couldn't talk yesterday evening. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I hope the sun shines in Dublin Sunday. I hope everyone that goes to the game has an amazing time. As I said, if you have videos, put them up. I want to see the atmosphere. It's something that I will one day see and enjoy, but unfortunately not this year. And as I said, we have a big game here in this house Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Thanks very much for watching. Sunday night for the Bills. The Saints come marching in. Well, we have to have them marching out too, hopefully, and out with their tails between their legs. So Bills, concentrate on what we have to do, win the game, get the dub, be 4-0, and looking at the rest of the AFC and going, come catch us if you can. That's what we have to do. Put the pressure on the other teams, but be respectful of who we're playing. So that is it, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, happy weekend. If you're going to the game and you're shouting for the Steelers or the Vikings, enjoy it. If you're shouting for the NFL, enjoy that too. As always, my friends, stay safe, stay happy, and go Bills.